The Jets lose to the Atlanta Falcons 27-20, and they head into the bye week at 1-4. We're going to talk all about it. This is a New York Jets post game. My name is Jake Asman. Welcome in to the channel. I ask that you please subscribe down below, like this video, and comment your thoughts afterwards so I can continue to produce daily New York Jets video content. Let's get to the game. This stunk, and we had to wake up early to watch it. I got up here in Houston at 8 o'clock in the morning to watch this debacle, and that's exactly what it was. Falcons beat the Jets, as I mentioned, 27-20, and this game was beyond frustrating for a myriad of issues. It was so frustrating watching this offense once again go out there and have a terrible start to this football game. I don't know what it is. Robert Saleh just said after the game he's going to spend the bye week doing everything in his power to fix this pathetic offense in the first half. Well, they got to fix it because you cannot continue to start out as slow as the Jets have started out. Here are the numbers. They've been outscored in the first half of games, 75-13. The Jets trailed at the half 20-3, and that is just not going to cut it. When you play any good team, you don't have a chance. When you play a mediocre team, like what the Atlanta Falcons are, that's still not good enough, despite the fact the Jets actually had a chance in this game if they made a couple plays on defense. We'll talk about that in a moment. But offensively, man, this was frustrating. A week after Zach Wilson was the rookie of the week, we got a reminder that the kid is still a rookie quarterback. He missed easy throws. There were some plays in that first half the Jets had to make. There were some plays where maybe, a receiver could have picked up Zach Wilson, but he's got to make easy throws. He missed a couple plays. The screen pass going into the back of Morgan Moses was terrible. The pass he missed to Jamison Crowder, to me, looked like a touchdown with the blocking in front, but he threw it at his feet. These are just things Zach's got to clean up. I know he will. It's just frustrating when you're living through it, knowing that these games are winnable if you just get a little better quarterback play on certain plays. But overall, offensively, this was just beyond frustrating, man. I mean, there were plays there for the Jets to make. They couldn't do it. I hated some of the play calling by Mike LaFleur. They got to clean things up during the bye because this was brutal. And it stunk once again that we all had to wake up early to watch this garbage. Not to mention, let me unload real quick on how bad the broadcast was. How many meaningless sideline reports are we going to get, NFL Network? Who cares if Michael Carter and Michael Carter have the same name? Nobody cares. The meaningless sideline reports in this game was a joke. They don't even show the replay on the pass that Elijah Moore caught where they allegedly said he was out of bounds first. So this broadcast sucked, almost as bad as the Jets. In fact, maybe even worse. I got to get that off my chest. I also received a noise complaint for the first time at 10:40 in the morning. Now, I've received a lot of noise complaints in my time watching Jets football, but never this early in the morning. So that was a first for me watching this debacle. Now, as far as the defense, I mean, where do we start? The penalties, the blown assignments, the inability to get off the freaking field on third down. This was as bad of a Jets defensive performance as we have seen in a very, very long time. I mean, Kyle Pitts could have done whatever the heck he wanted out there. His 119 receiving yards are the third most by a rookie tight end in a single game in the last 20 seasons. Only the Jets could make Kyle Pitts look like Rob Gronkowski in his rookie season. And what was beyond frustrating with this game plan by the Jets defensively is there's no Calvin Ridley, there's no Russell Gage. So how are the Jets getting beat by one guy? How can they not make some plays? The third down defense was a joke. I mean, let's start with some of the defensive assignments. They're using John Franklin Myers and Bryce Huff in coverage. I mean, come on. I've been fair. I have said Jeff Obrick has done a tremendous job coaching up this defense, and he has to this point. But today was a major step back because the Jets have never played as bad as they did defensively this season as they did earlier today. I mean, it was just bad. The last drive of the game, despite all the issues the Jets defense had, all the issues the offense had, Atlanta, knowing full well that they could win the game with a touchdown, had their way with the Jets. How does nobody cover Kyle Pitts on that last drive? So you give up the bomb to start the drive. All right, hold them to a field goal, and you still have a chance, right? This game could be 23-17. You still have a chance to get the ball back and drive for the win against a Falcons defense that stinks. What happens? Oh, 3rd and 13. You're thinking, all right, make one play defense. Make one play. And just the inability on that 3rd and 13 to hold them was a disgrace. Oh, my God. I was screaming at that blown assignment by the Jets on 3rd and 13. That can't happen. Okay, 3rd and 13, you allow that. They're in field goal range. You know they're going to get a field goal, but can you keep them out of the end zone? 3rd and 3. No, first down. Then they punch it in, touchdown, and you're thinking, wow, this defense failed. They choked. They could not make enough plays. They did their best. They had 2 turnovers, but then the Jets offense did nothing with those turnovers. So both sides of the ball for the Jets just let them down today. I'm really disappointed with the defense because, man, I just expected more from this team, especially facing an Atlanta offense without Calvin Ridley, without Russell Gage, but they had no answer. I mean, that was as bad as it gets. That 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 3 on the Atlanta final drive. That's going to haunt me now for the next 2 weeks as the Jets go into this bye week. I mean, that was just infuriating. They just did not get the pass rush they had in previous games. The penalties were a joke. Now, the penalty at the beginning of the game on Quincy Williams was an embarrassment. That was a penalty on him for playing football, not roughing the passer. I mean, that was a disgrace, directly led to Atlanta points at the beginning of the game. 3 points, not the difference in the game, obviously, but that can't happen. Nathan Shepard, how many stupid penalties is this guy going to commit? I mean, they should leave Nathan Shepard in London, all right? See if AFC Richmond wants him or something. I mean, this was a joke with the penalties today. That cannot happen. The Jets are not talented enough to overcome that many mistakes. Penalties got to stop. That was a disgrace. And then, just talking more about this offense. I mean, look, and we're not going to sugarcoat it. Zach Wilson was bad today. He was great last week, won Rookie of the Week, but today was a reminder he's a rookie, and there's going to be highs and lows with this kid as he develops. He's got to start off better in these games. I don't know what it is, if it's play calling, if it's, just something the Jets are not recognizing at the line of scrimmage early in this game, but the Jets cannot come out and trail 20-3 at the half against the Atlanta Falcons. They need to go out there and figure out why they are starting as slow as they are. Wilson cannot have a half like what he had today. I mean, there were missed throws, missed timing routes. It was bad. I mean, Zach Wilson's final numbers, 19-32 for 192 yards and a pick. I mean, that's not horrendous if you just look at it, from afar. But the eye test told you he struggled today, and they didn't do enough of what they did last week against Tennessee. Notice when the Jets actually took some chances to throw downfield, what happened? They drew penalties. You will get that in the NFL. Last week, it felt like the Jets discovered the ability to throw downfield and good things happen. Not always a completion, but you could get a penalty. Today, you had none of that until it was far too late in this football game. So it's just maddening that the Jets went out there and really blew an opportunity to win this game. Despite the awful start, down 20-3 at the half, they come out in the second half. Tevin Coleman against his former team, big kickoff return. You score a touchdown on that drive, but the Jets defense just never got going, never could get that big stop. And part of it, I'm sure, is that they were on the field a lot last week, right? 91 snaps. They had to go to overtime with Tennessee. But I'm not making excuses for them against this Falcons offense, missing Calvin Ridley and Russell Gage. They should have got the ball back to the Jets, trailing only by by 3 points. Instead, not only do they allow a field goal, but they allow the touchdown to make it, at this point, the game totally out of reach at 27-17. I mean, at the worst, it should have been 23-17 with the Jets having a chance to drive for the win, and the defense failed them. The offense failed them in the first half. Defense failed them really throughout the course of the game. And you just look at the total plays ran by the Jets. I mean, early on in this game, the 2 3-and-outs were just an absolute killer because the defense started off so slow with these long, prolonged drives by the Falcons. And I think they were just gassed by the second half. You got the cross-country travel. You got all the plays last week, and it just compounded itself all at once in that second half. So that was excruciatingly painful to watch. Now, more thoughts on the offense. And speaking of more, can we get Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims the football. Hey, it's a good step in the right direction. The Jets had Denzel Mims activated today. And guess what happened? Oh, I don't know. He made a couple nice plays. One of the touchdown drives that the Jets had was set up after a nice completion to Denzel Mims. He had a completion of 27 yards today. He finished with 2 catches for 33 yards. More of that. We don't need Keelan Cole. We could go more Mims. We could go more Elijah Moore. You look at the numbers, Elijah Moore did not have a catch today, but he directly led on a big explosive play to a passing interference call. More of that, right? Pun intended. More of that. We need to get playmakers the football. Maybe that is the key to how the Jets could solve their horrendous slow starts in this football game. So once again, big takeaways, and then we'll open it up to some of your questions and comments here on the YouTube channel. Submit them in the comment section. Thanks to everyone who's watching after the game. Sorry your morning and now afternoons have to be ruined by the debacle that was Jets football today. The defense, look, it's been the strength all season. Today they failed the team multiple times with the game on the line. The game plan for a Falcons team missing its 2 best receivers in Calvin Ridley, who's a star, and Russell Gage, who's a nice player, was horrendous. The offense not showing up until the second half has to stop. This was an embarrassment. You know, as great as last week was, of course, it's like that same old Jets feeling, right? Like right when you have some prosperity, it all comes crumbling down. And I knew we were in for a rough game the second I saw every single member of the NFL Network crew in the pregame pick the Jets. That is the kiss of death, that they're all picking the Jets. Hopefully that is the last time anyone nationally ever picks the Jets in unison, because that was an absolute disgrace. With that being said, I ask if you're tuning in to subscribe down below and comment your thoughts, and let's get to some of these comments here about the Jets and that debacle that was the Jets football here. Mad Genius, can we get a tight end for this kid? Look, the tight end play for the Jets is non-existent. And that's more reason why they should throw to Mims. They should throw to Moore. They need to find a way to get more explosive plays. If they're not going to get big chunk plays from a tight end, work around it. Jerry T, 0 pressure. Matt Ryan picked the secondary apart. He did. I mean, the Jets made Matt Ryan today without 2 of his best weapons look like he was, the Matt Ryan that won an MVP when Kyle Shanahan was calling plays for him. I mean, Matt Ryan was 33 of 45 for 342 and 2 touchdowns. And I just thought the game plan against him defensively was horrendous. I thought it was awful. I mean, you have John Franklin Myers and Bryce Huff in coverage. What happened to the Jets defensive front that was getting a ton of pressure? It's just, it was brutal, man. I mean, that was beyond frustrating. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that was horrible. I mean, from the broadcast quality of this game to the officiating in this game to the Jets game plan in this game to the play of the quarterback in this game. I mean, this was just awful. Awful. And I can't stress this enough. I woke up today miserable having to watch this garbage. At least win this game, because that game was so winnable. Let's see here. More comments from you guys. JP writes in, we lost because we're a team of rookies. Zach missed simple throws, penalties, weak secondary today. Matt Ryan picked us apart. There's no doubt the Jets are going to have some brutal losses this year because you have a rookie coach, rookie OC, rookie quarterback. But there's games like this that are so winnable with a better performance. Like, you're not even asking for that much. You're asking for the Jets defense to get off the field on 3rd and 13. You're asking for the Jets defense to not allow Kyle Pitts to break open for a 40-yard bomb, at the end of this game here. Like, yes, there's going to be losses. We understand as Jet fans, we got to be patient and understand this is a rebuilding year. But when you play like they did last week, to have this type of performance, it's very, very, very frustrating. And it's just the terrible starts by the offense have to stop. I see Jerry T pointed it out. I mean, I could talk about it till I'm blue in the face here. I mean, the Jets, once again, if you're just tuning in, have been outscored 75-13 in the first halves of these games. That cannot happen. And today, it was really exemplified because of how long the drives were by the Falcons when they put up points. So the Jets go 3 and out on their first drive. Atlanta gets the football, and they had like an 11-play, 10-minute drive that killed the entire first quarter. You're just putting the defense on the field. You're tiring them out early. So then late in this game, they couldn't make plays. And this once again comes after last week where they were on the field a ton, playing 91 snaps in the game that went to overtime. So it's just, it's really frustrating. Roberto writes in, the score does not reflect what really happened. It was not close at all. I disagree with it was not close at all. The Jets defense comes up with a stop. It's 20-17. Jets getting the ball back. So it was close. They made it a game in the second half. The Jets defense, to their credit, I could say they only allowed 7 points in the second half, but that's ignoring what we watched in the first half. And that's ignoring, the chunk plays that Atlanta still had, where maybe they didn't score, but they had long sustained drives. So it's just, it was frustrating, man. It was as bad as it gets for, an early regular season game. TJ Decker writes in, this game was gross. It was, everything about this game was gross. Having to play it this early, having to have this announce crew was horrendous. Them all picking the Jets in the pregame. I mean, like, everything was set up for just a horrendous Jets showing. Tommy R makes the point the Jets were outcoached, and the story, they were outcoached today. Arthur Smith and his team had a better game plan than Robert Saleh and his game plan. There's no doubt. The defensive game plan was bad. Ulbrich deserves credit for the first 4 games of the year, but today was bad. For the life of me, I don't understand how Franklin Myers and Bryce Huff are in coverage. It's something the Jets haven't done all year. Why stray away from what worked, especially when you're facing a Falcons team without Ridley and without Russell Gage? I mean, the way they tried to stop Patterson and the way they tried to stop Pitts was just, horrendous. Absolutely horrendous, man. And, ultimately, you saw this secondary have some moments where they just were not up to the task today. I mean, it's just very frustrating. Very frustrating, this game that we watched today. Value Books. Amazing. It was fairly close considering how bad we did. That's what makes it worse in my mind. Like, if the Jets had just gotten blown out, we've seen this many times the last couple of years watching the Adam Gase-led Jets. What was beyond frustrating about this game is the fact that after you're down 20-3, you're in the football game. You're down by 3 late, and you need your defense to step up and make a play, and then who knows what would happen. You had all the momentum on your side. Another big thing in this game, when the Jets did force some turnovers, right? You had the Quincy Williams big play with the fumble. They didn't turn it into points. They didn't turn it into touchdowns. Nothing kills momentum more than not taking advantage of your opportunities. And they didn't do it. And, the D has been exceeding expectations all year. I mean, unfortunately, today, it was as bad as it gets from a defensive game plan, specifically that last drive. I mean, I'm going to have nightmares about that last drive. That was as bad as it gets. Blunted Vegas. Zach had 64 yards at halftime. All his yards were in garage. I think you mean garbage time. Not true necessarily. Zach had to play much better in the second half to bring them back in the game. Also, there were some deep balls that Zach Wilson doesn't get credit for because they were on some penalties. Zach was bad in the first half. He played better in the second half. He wasn't great, though. He's got to get a lot better. I mean, he's a rookie. I'm not going to kill Zach Wilson because I kind of expect a lot of issues here with a rookie, but it just shows you, 1 week he could win Rookie of the Week. He was great last week, and then today he had a bad game. He had a bad half. And I don't know if it's just on Zach. I think whatever the Jets are calling for him in the first half, whatever the game plan is situationally, they got to chuck it out the window. Don't bring it back with them to Florham Park when they get on the plane today, and go out there and make some adjustments here during this bye week. Because if you start off down 20-3 against pretty much every team in the NFL, you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. Luis writes in, if we keep playing like this, do you think Douglas is on the hot seat? No, not at all. Joe Douglas hired Robert Saleh. He drafted Zach Wilson. He's here for the long haul. And last week, a lot of Douglas's players all made plays. Today, it's just a terrible performance. But we're still talking about rookie QB and rookie coach. There's going to be more games like this, unfortunately. Like, the idea that everything's going to be smooth sailing after this is just not to be expected here. Now, the Jets got to get better, and they will get better as the year goes on. But there's still going to be moments like what we saw today after a great moment that we saw last week with the offense around Zach coming together. So, no, Douglas is not on the hot seat. He's got 7 picks in the first 4 rounds this year. They're going to let him see this through as far as a rebuild process. Douglas gets a chance to pick his quarterback, pick his coach. If Wilson busts and Saleh's bad, then Douglas has gone with them. They're all on the same timeline for that exact reason. Throw the ball 50 times. How about throw the ball deeper more than they do? I'm not saying throw the ball 50 times because Michael Carter is a good running back and they need to continue to give him the football. But they need to take more chances downfield. They need to get Denzel Mims more involved. They need to get Elijah Moore more involved in this offense. I could deal with less Keelan Cole and less Ryan Griffin and give me more, right? Pun intended. Give me more and give us more Mims because for the love of God, how many times does this guy have to make plays and limited opportunities for the Jets to recognize that there should be a role for him in this offense? ZM writes in, why don't we run quick slants and quick passes? Some of that's on Zach Wilson. Look, I don't think LaFleur's done a good job as a play caller, but I can't knock him for the play that he called in the first half where Jamison Crowder's wide open and Zach Wilson's throwing it at his feet. That's just a rookie quarterback overthinking things. That's like the yips. That's like a mental thing there. Zach Wilson, to quote Ted Lasso, has got to be like a goldfish. He's got to have short-term memory and, make some of these easy throws. So I just think it's not all LaFleur. Some of it's just a rookie quarterback and Zach Wilson having a bad game. And that's simply what we saw offensively, specifically in the first half. Now, I'm not excusing LaFleur because the play call that he called after the Jets got the turnover late in the second half, and they're trying the trick play where they throw it back to Jamison Crowder, that killed the momentum. That killed the drive. That sucked so much. But this is also a rookie quarterback that has to make adjustments, has to continue to get better. And I hope they learn over the bye what the issue is in the first halves of these games. Because starting as slow as they are, it's not going to cut it. It is not going to cut it if this continues by the Jets. You have to get more playmakers with the football, have to take more chances downfield. The coaching disparity today was unfortunately on full display. Arthur Smith outcoached Robert Saleh. Mike LaFleur was outcoached by the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator. It was bad all around. Bad all around, poor performance. And I think if you're a Jet fan, you have every right to be angry, every right to be frustrated, because this was a game, despite how poorly the Jets played in the first half, down 20-3. If they just made a couple more plays, either on offense or specifically the defense, they maybe win this game. Once again, we go back to that last drive. You allow the bomb over the middle of the pits. Okay, you're thinking, all right, please just hold them to a field goal. Then it will be 23-17. At least you get the ball back with a chance. And then you can't get off the field on 3rd and 13 and then 3rd and 3, and you allow a touchdown. Just bad. So overall, those are my thoughts. I would like to thank everyone who took time to watch this video. Please do me a favor. If you're watching live, hit the like button right down below. That's the thumbs up icon that helps this channel continue to grow. Subscribe if you're watching for the first time. And if you watch every week and don't subscribe, what are you waiting for? I'm also on Twitter at Jake Asman. It's where you can follow me. I live tweet my thoughts during every Jets game. I'll have videos throughout the week talking more about this game and looking ahead to what we need to see for the Jets coming out of the bye week. But with that being said, that's going to do it for the post game because I want to go watch NFL Red Zone and watch the Texans and the Patriots because it's my job to cover the Texans here in Houston. All right. Thanks to everyone who took time to watch. Awful game. Let's try and enjoy the rest of the football, I guess, later today, though. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. Enjoy the football and go.